Hey there, Mission Realm. My name is Runaway5. I just want to thank you for watching this week's episode of League of Legends Rank Climb. Be sure to check out the link below for my channel, which also leads to my stream. First, we're going to talk about initiations and counter-initiations in this episode of Rank Climb, but first, let's just get to First Blood. And for First Blood, coming off a goofy Rumble ult, a lane ganking Amumu does a fairly decent job, but backs off a little too early to save any sort of tower hits that may have saved Rumble, and the Zed had already been way responsive and picks up a nice 2-for-1. So for this whole game, it's just been back and forth, so there was nothing too interesting to watch. But here, we're going to show Amumu doing a nice little initiation into a flash ultimate, and that starts a pretty awesome teamfight opportunity, but my wave hits the entire team on top of the bubble, and there we are able to disengage what would have been a very brutal team fight. We go 1-for-1, and then a Jenna ult ends the incursion, so definitely a pretty decent save. So counter initiations are something that are very hard to communicate in solo queue, so therefore it's nice to pick champions that are just able to do that, and you just be ready for it at any point in time. So for this clip, I just wanted to show a little problem with indecision that happens in solo queue. Amumu overextends, and rather than decide to pick him or the tower, we end up all under tower under his ultimate, which just does not bode well for all. I miss a lot of my stuff, which is just learning. So our indecision to destroy the turret faster or kill Amumu ultimately ends up in we got a turret, but it was rather disastrous for kills, and it brought them back into the game, where we lose tower in turn, so it didn't even matter anyway. And then even then, just some greed happens out. Just have to be careful to jump into 4 people. And I think we even lose an inhibitor, or an inhibitor turret for it. So I just wanted to show this clip, because in solo queue there's some funny miscommunications that can happen. Amumu goes in a little too far ahead of schedule and doesn't ult, and Rumble thinks he will, so he just wastes his ult. So knowing that, and they're all nice and clumped up, this is a nice initiation right here. I think I can wave the entire group, so I'm just going to take it upon myself. It's just a good opportunity that hopefully a global anybody should be able to understand, and we get a nice widespread damage over the whole team. Amumu gets a nice little ulti off, but his team is way out of position, and then we end up picking up, I believe, the ace after chasing down Rumble and Jenna. And I just speed up Vi here just a little bit so that she can catch up, and they omen it out, and Jenna's just fast, so that just happens, and eventually Jenna goes down, as well as Rumble for the ace. So this last clip I want to show is very hard to communicate in solo queue when people are doing Baron and you want to initiate an entire team fight and to get people off of Baron to fight. My wave catches the entire team off, as well as a couple people in the bubble, and we just get an amazing, nice clumped team fight. I exhaust Amumu because his R button was fairly beefy, and we end up picking up this team fight no problem. I did a quadra kill for Lucian because his Q is nice and beefy at this point in the game. But just a really awesome counter Baron. We pick up, I think we just pick up the end of the game there. And with some very dominant team fights near the end of the game, I was able to pick up that victory, which puts me, we were sort of at gold 32. I'm now in gold 80 some odd, maybe 90. And 1 game away from my platinum promotions, and hopefully by the next video that comes out, I'll be platinum. So what I learned from this video is counter initiations, and just hoping my teams knows what to do, doing a couple pings beforehand, but it's very hard to communicate these things in game. So it's just something you're going to have to get the feel to just keep playing and see if you can just play champions that have the initiation and counter initiation abilities and just have them ready, because a lot of the time it's just going to fall on you because it's impossible to communicate with a lot of goofballs in solo queue. And with that, we got a nice little victory there. Have a good rest of the day, and be sure to honor your supports.